The danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing, and they're certainly not showing any signs that they are slowing.
What's up, peoples? It's your boy back with another reaction video. Now we're reacting to MORBIUS teaser trailer. MORBIUS. I said it right. MORBIUS. Thought I said Morpheus for a second. Now this is the trailer for the vampire in the Marvel universe. Anyone remembers old Spider-Man cartoon back in the 90s where he had like suckers on his hands, and I thought that was in the comic book. Apparently it's not, because I haven't read anything with Morbius in it, but from some people I know, and my brother who is an anime comic book reader said that that was just, but he told me this back when I was a kid though, that was just for kids, basically. They did that because of a kid cartoon, just like they had laser guns, but they didn't want kids to see real guns in their cartoons. They had lasers and shit like that, so that's why. And I was like, I thought it was interesting that you could, because I was like, why do you have fangs? Like, you're not a vampire unless you have fangs. It was like you just grab someone like this and just suck their blood out. I was like, maybe he could do, and I was like, maybe he could do both. I've been having arguments with other kids in my school, and they were like, he could suck blood from his teeth over his head, and it was just stupid. But anyway, let's get into this. All right, here we I want to see him just rip someone's whole
I've
neck
known you
out.
since you were a child. You have a gift.
Always bullied.
You always have. If there's an answer to your disease, you'll find it.
We have polio or something?
I should have died years ago. Why am I still here if not to fix this? I have a rare blood disease, and I'm running out of time. This could be my last chance.
You're up to something. What is it?
It's not exactly legal.
I don't want to see you get hurt more than you already have.
This would be a cure.
At what cost? Michael,
He's Batman.
what's happening?
I went from dying to feeling more alive than ever.
Increased strength and speed.
The ability to use echolocation.
Then you gonna find out vampires actually do this.
And an overpowering urge to consume blood.
Oh shit.
How far are we allowed to go
Wait.
to fix something that's
Oh.
broken? Until the remedy is worse than the disease.
Guess he's still in his shape from Joker.
Michael Morbius. Got tired of doing the whole good guy thing, huh? What's up, Doc?
The fuck was Michael Keaton doing in there? Is this supposed to take place in the MCU? I know it's Sony. Because I've been reading things about Tom Holland might be in the next Venom movie and stuff like that. Are they combining? I'm curious. 'Cause, like, what was he? That's not to say that he's not Vulture, but interesting, very interesting. I was reading. I remember. Well, this was when the movie was first announced that this was going to be more of a horror type movie than like a superhero or a super villain type. Because Morbius in the comic book, I do remember from the little things I've read. He's more of an anti-hero. Even in the cartoons, he was like that too. He was like, he kind of started out as a villain and became more of an anti-hero. Like, he was helping. I remember in the cartoon, he was helping Blade. I think he in the comic book too, if I remember. He was helping Blade and like Hannibal King and stuff like that fight vampires, because he was a unique vampire. That's how Blade became the Daywalker, because he bit Blade, which, because he's such a unique, he didn't transform the way other vampires did. He Blade, it affected Blade because Blade was already a Dampier, and they transformed it, which gave him all the vampire strengths and none of their weaknesses type thing. Rather than, like, 'cause I know in the movie Blade they did different because they couldn't. I guess they couldn't use Morbius, or they didn't want to. I do remember it was a deleted scene in Blade where it was like at the end, Blade looks off and sees someone standing on a building, and it's Morbius or something like that. Like it was, I forget exactly how well. I do remember that, and it's supposed to be like Morbius or something, but they cut that out. But it's interesting, especially with Marvel. If this is taking place in the MCU, especially with Marvel, they have the rights to Blade now. Like, I wonder if this takes place in the MCU or if it's kind of like adjacent. Because like if they can bring, because all those Spider-Man movies are Sony movies, so I think a lot of people forget that. They're like Spider-Man: Homecoming, Far From Home. Those are Sony movies, not Marvel movies or Disney movies. The Sony movies, so they can, and Tom Holland is their Spider-Man, not Disney Spider-Man. But they just have a contract where they can use him, that Marvel can use him in their movies. But he's still there. They can take him back whenever. That's that whole thing happened with Marvel, where they negotiation broke down or whatever, and they was gonna take him back. That's why Sony was like, hey, we can have him cross over into Venom, which would, but in turn would say Sony movies take place in the MCU as well. But you could just have it where they don't talk about each other. You say, well, the only connecting thread would be Spider-Man. Everything else, like, they just wouldn't mention. They wouldn't do I would hope they don't do it. Like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where they kept name dropping everybody, or Netflix, where they kept, well, instead of just straight up name dropping people, they was like, well, they said like the invasion in the first Avenger, but they call it the incident, or the big green guy, the guy with the magic hammer, the guy with the suit of armor. They would constantly keep doing that. And I remember Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that got so annoying. I was like, stop with that. Like, yes, we know you're connected, okay? It's like, you gotta keep name dropping people because you can't get any of the main cast on your show. So I was like, I guess Lady Sif, and they had Samuel Jackson on like the first episode. They got the end for like a minute or something. But like you can't get the main Avengers main character, so you gotta keep name dropping them. And they kept doing it, yeah, they started to stop. I think around like season 3. I want to say they started. They stopped name dropping somebody came in and it became more of its own thing. It might have been season 2. Well, one of the point is they stopped it and it became more of its own show. But I used to get tired. I was like, here we go, the name drop people. Oh, I'm like, come on. I remember with, I think it was Age of Ultron was coming out. I think it was Age of Ultron. And they were on I think they were on Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon or something. And they had Clark Gregg, or he was on like Skyping. And he's like, yeah, I like it if some of you guys would be on my show. Robert Downey Jr. He was like, he says, like, well, my people call your people. That never happened. Like, so they get, like I said, they had Sith, and they had, I think they had Sith on that, or Jamie Alexander twice. And I know they had Samuel Jackson at the end of the first episode, but yeah, this is interesting. I'm curious if it's like, if they gonna do that, where they're not gonna be name dropping Marvel stuff or the MCU stuff. It is gonna be the only connecting tissue would be Tom Holland. That's it. You know, and they won't mention things that are happening in the MCU, even if it's a world alternating event, or maybe they'll hint to it. Maybe like what do they call it? The snap. I forget what they call it in the actual MCU. Like what happened. Like I said, they call it on Netflix they call it the incident with the Chitauri invasion. Like I can't remember what they call it, the snap. But anyway, like I said, I hope this is extremely bad. And I saw some people, I hope, because they like, well, he's done with DC, I guess. I mean, people say that, but the thing is, I don't think Marvel and Sony have the same rules. I know, like, apparently, from what they contract has, DC and Marvel, that you can't be if you're in a DC movie or DC character, you can't be in a Marvel movie, and vice versa. So Marvel actors can't be in a DC movie. But Sony, I wonder, do they have the same rule? I don't know. Because Marvel, I can see. Marvel and DC, I can see that because they've been competitors for decades. But Sony just has the rights to Spider-Man and pretty much anything related to Spider-Man. So, I don't know if Sony has that same. So that's what, like, because people are like, oh, he's done with the Joker now. Like, not necessarily. He might still be the Joker, even though a lot of people hope he's done with the Joker. But he might still be the Joker. I didn't have a problem with Joker. I actually thought the Joker was fine. The only problem I had was damaged right there. I didn't mind any other tattoos. I'm not one of a Joker wouldn't have tattoos. Why would he care about tattoos? That's like saying, well, why would Joker care about wearing a suit? You know, why would he care about looking good in a suit then? They'd be like, why would he care about tattoos? Why would he care about wearing a suit? I mean, you could argue all that, but I'm just saying, I didn't mind. The only thing, I thought the damage was a little bit too much on my nose for me. And I was like, and I'm not a big fan of face tattoos anyway, so don't mind them. I'm just like, it just seemed like he was trying to with that tattoo. I know a lot of people with the ha and the smile. Maybe the smile was a bit much too on the stomach. The ha though was fine. And I think he had like Joker cards or something up on the other side of his chest. I could definitely, those tattoos fine, but I didn't mind his act. Some scenes I think he did kind of overact a bit, but it didn't bother me to the point where I hated his performance and anything like that. So if he's still the Joker, I'm fine with it. I hope they do something like, I mean, just to make everybody else happy, just do some shit like they have all his tattoos are gone, and just have some throwaway person bring up like, hey, I thought you had, what happened to your tattoos, something like that. He's like, oh, it was a phase. I'm like, or something. You know? I don't know. This just they just do that and maybe have him act a bit different. Because it seemed more people was upset about how he acted behind the scene with the whole sending people rats and stuff. And apparently a lot of stuff was made or sensationalized by people because people said he sent dead rats and used condoms. Apparently he didn't do either one. He sent, I think he said he sent a rat to Margot Robbie, which she still has. And he sent condoms to people, but they weren't used. They didn't have semen in it. So, so they're just people sensationalizing their stories. Oh, they would use condoms, dead rats and stuff, but they weren't. So, because he even said, he said, I didn't send used condoms. They were just condoms. Like, they weren't used. But anyway, I think because I've seen that where I've seen a lot of people on Twitter and Instagram where they bring up him in anything ever since he played the Joker, where they attack his acting ability by not really attacking his performance as a Joker, more attacking what he did behind the scenes during the filming of that movie. So that's just why I think that's weird. Like I said, the Suicide Squad had a lot of fucking problems. Like, I enjoyed it, but I had a lot of the same problems that people had. Pretty much everyone else had. They didn't bother me to the point where I didn't enjoy the movie or found the movie boring or taking too long or whatever. Yeah, I didn't experience that. But like I said, he could still be the Joker. Maybe, and I know he got pissed off that they did that other Joker movie, Joaquin Phoenix, because they were talking about doing a movie with him before, and then they said, well, this is an Elseworld thing, so don't worry. And then Joaquin Phoenix just knocked it out of the park. So, I don't know. He might be out. He might not. Maybe he can do, like I said, I don't know what Sony's deal is. Like, I doubt it's the same as Marvel's, where you can't act in a DC movie because he's DC. Because right now, if he's still the Joker, that means he's in a Sony movie, even though he's playing a Marvel character. But in a Sony movie, like I said, it might not have the same rules. So that might be DC saying you can't go work for our direct competitor like Marvel. Even though Sony is a competitor to Warner Brothers, still that you can't stop actors from going to different studios. You can't go anywhere else. But I don't know how to see, but I'm curious at seeing Michael Keaton. Especially when I was talking about Batman with the bats going on. And show Michael Keaton was like, oh, is he old man Bruce Wayne? Everyone was, well, not everyone, people talking about a fucking Batman Beyond movie because they got Robert Pattinson to be Bruce Wayne. I like people like, he should be Terry McGinnis because he's young and slim. So instantly, Terry McGinnis, like, he can't be Batman. I remember before when Ben Affleck was cast as Batman, those first images came out of him in his suit. They called him Fat Man. He's too big to be Batman and all this stuff. And Batman's not supposed to be that big, even though it was inspired by The Dark Knight. But still, I was like, it makes more sense why Batman is as strong as he is, even though it still doesn't make sense because he's still not as big, but he's as strong as he is. But he's to be bulky, it would make more sense than the way he is in a lot of the comic books where he weighs like 200 and maybe like 15 pounds, but he can bench press 1,000 pounds and squat a ton. Like that doesn't make sense. But now that people started coming around and liking Ben Affleck's Batman, especially a lot of people talk about he was the one a lot of people like him and Gal Gadot, Gal Gadot in Batman vs Superman. Now they're like, well, Robert Pattinson got to put on 50 pounds of muscle to be big. Now Batman needs to be big now. All of a sudden, before he was too Ben Affleck was too big. He's fat. Batman's not like that. And now Robert Pattinson, who is slimmer, he put on some muscle. Usually, I've seen some pictures. He's putting on quite a bit of muscle. But now he needs to be Ben Affleck's like size now to be Batman. Batman needs to be big now, like all of a sudden. And somebody that I know is like, you would say, well, these are not the same people. That I follow people on Instagram and Twitter, and some of these same people that were complaining about Ben Affleck being too big are now complaining about Robert Pattinson being too small. And they comparing him to Ben Affleck, and he needs to be like at least that big, or like because even Christian Bale, he had pretty big in the Batman Begins, and he gradually got slimmer as the franchise went on. Where I was like, it didn't really matter because he was in a suit, so no one really cared. But I mean, he got pretty big for Batman Begins. But people go, he needs to get, because he has like Robert Pattinson. I don't think he needs to get that big, because I'm like, Batman's still pretty slim in most comics. So doesn't he still somehow has the strength that he just goes across the board with the, you know, the bench pressing 1,000 pounds and squatting a ton and all that shit, which makes no sense. I mean, human being can't do that. Well, I think one guy did that. He squat, not a ton. I think. No, he squatted. He squat like, I think he squatted 1,000 pounds, or somebody broke some record like in the past year or two. They like either squat or bench pressed like 1,000 or close to 1,000 pounds. Something I was reading. But anyway. Hope you enjoyed the video, everyone. If you did, make sure to hit that thumbs up button down below. Make sure to hit that bell if you want to be notified when I upload videos. Be sure to subscribe if you're new here. Comment down below. I'm forgetting one. Oh yeah, share this video on your social media platforms. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.